All right, so what's going on, everyone? Welcome to the channel. Because I haven't said it in a little while, my name's Mike and this is Extreme Automotive Addiction, better known as EAA. Welcome. I appreciate you being here. I appreciate you watching the video. I appreciate the support. I don't say that enough, but I really do. All the people that do watch the channel and subscribe and are here consistently, thank you so much. And if this is the first time you're stopping in, thank you for clicking on this video. I do appreciate it. I hope you subscribe. I hope you stay. I hope you hang out. It's always a good time. So today, obviously, we're going to talk about the 1940 Ford Coupe over probably both shoulders. Both shoulders right now. And I just picked this vehicle up. So let's do a little walk around and check it out. For everyone that loved my NSX, I am sorry to say it is gone. I had talked about this in a prior video and mentioned that I might be getting rid of it. I might be doing a trade, and this is exactly what I traded for. 1940 Ford Coupe. So the way this trade came about is I was looking to get rid of my Jag. This is going back to when I had my Jag about a month ago. And I was looking to get rid of it. I was looking to do a trade on it. And I actually hit this guy up about a potential trade for a vehicle that he had up for sale or for trade. So we talked and it looked like that was going to work out. And then before we could get together, he actually had someone that came in and offered him his number basically for the vehicle. And so he ended up selling it. Lo and behold, as I do with a lot of people when I'm talking about cars, they have a few cars, I have a few cars, we start trading pictures back and forth of what he's got, what I've got, and everything like that. And he had this 40 Ford Coupe, which I've wanted a 40 Ford Coupe for a long time, and I'm going to talk about that more so in just a minute. But he really liked my Acura. So we started talking, and it took about a month to get everything together and make it work out. But finally, it all worked out. We came up with a deal that was mutually beneficial and ended up doing the trade. I'm very happy. I think he's already planning on selling the Acura, or if he can, or what have you. I think his ultimate goal is to get to a Mustang Fastback, and I didn't want to get rid of mine, but that's another story. So, you know, I like the Acura, don't get me wrong. It was a great car. I probably would own another one. It was a really fun car, but like I said, I wanted a 40 Ford for a while, and I'm going to tell you why. When my father was alive, he always really liked the body style of the Coupe, the 40 Fords, and he would talk about it quite a bit. And you know, that was before I was really a car guy. I mean, I thought they were cool, but I didn't think that much about it. And as I've gotten more into vehicles over the past 10 years or so, I've started to like them more and more and thought more of them. So, you know, for me, this is kind of like having it from my dad. In a sense, I think it's kind of cool. I think he'd be very proud. I know he would love the car if he was still here. So it's kind of a tribute to my dad in a sense. As you might notice, the vehicle does not have running boards, and it's kind of got these steely wheels on it. Essentially, the guy that built it, the guy I got it off of, his desire was to build it like they built them back in the 60s. So that's the way he kind of designed it. It's a really beautiful kind of a midnight blue with a little metallic in it. It looks really good when it's out in the sunshine. And quite honestly, the paint it's a higher end paint job. He seems to think that the paint could probably be color sanded and buffed out a little bit better, but it's hard to see here in the shop, but it does have a very good finish across it. It does look very, very good, very few flaws in it. I think he said he had about $10,000 into the paint alone, and it really does show. I mean, get down there and look. I mean, you can see the reflection pretty well. It actually is very nice. Not the nicest paint job in the world, but definitely up there. Interior wise, might as well just jump right into that. He did some tuck and roll, kind of the old style. Tuck and roll, white steering wheel, Stuart Warner gauges. It's got a tilt wheel, but you can see it shows very, very nicely. It's actually a very fresh build. It's only got like 700 miles on it since it was built. Under the hood is a small block 289, pretty stock, nothing major done to it. It's got headers and I think manifold carburetor or what have you, but it's pretty mellow sounding, pretty stock, backed by a 4-speed transmission, manual of course, and really kind of neat. I like the fact it's a manual transmission. Ford rear end of some sorts. I know it's got updated suspension. It's got a Mustang 2 front end, so it's got disc brakes on it. No power steering, but I believe it does have power brakes. Brakes pretty well. It has the old bias ply tires on it, which I'm not crazy about. I would put radials on it because they ride much better. But really, this thing does not ride bad. It goes down the freeway pretty comfortably. Even these bumpy roads out here is not horrible. I've been in worse, so I'm not too upset about that. The only thing really not working in this car right now is the fuel gauge. The fuel gauge doesn't read. He's thinking it's probably a sender at the tank, and it's supposed to be on top, so hopefully that should be a pretty easy fix. That's probably about all I'll do to this car. I'm hoping to really not do very much. All the gauges, light signals, everything like that works. You know, I could certainly upgrade and put some radial tires on it. Could maybe upgrade the exhaust system. Like I said, it's pretty mellow. He said he never did anything to the exhaust system as far as that goes. And you can tell it's the old exhaust system. It's not the stainless or what have you. So I could do that, and maybe I will down the road, but I just have so many other projects. Kind of want to have a car that I can just enjoy, drive, and just have a good time with, and that's really what this car is. Not a lot more I can really say about the car. I think really the best thing to do is get it on the road, take it down the road a little bit, and really show you guys what it's all about, how it drives, how it sounds, how it feels, and I'll talk a little bit more in detail, and then we'll wrap up the video. Okay, let's fire her up. So the car is pretty tall geared, so it does pretty well, like down the freeway. I took it down the freeway the other night, and I mean, bear in mind, I've only put like maybe 10 or 12 miles on this thing total, but I took it down the freeway the other night, and I was having no problem humming along at like 70. It's not really great off the line, but you know, you don't really want to go that fast in a car like this, at least I don't. And as I said before, I've got cars that I can go fast in. I do notice with this thing, it seems like the choke kind of sticks a little bit more than it should, because, I mean, right now, the temperature gauge is reading. It should be warmed up and really shouldn't be idling high like that, but it still is. So you can see how tall first gear is. We're running down the freeway and kind of show you guys how it does down the freeway. Right there, we're at freeway speeds and coming along about 2,700, 65, not bad at all. Like I said, for the bias ply tires, it holds the road good, not as good as if it were radials. Not the quietest thing in here, it's kind of noisy, but hey, that's what you expect from an older car. Considering that it's 80 years old, handles the bumps pretty well, rides pretty well, holds the road pretty well. I'm really liking the car, I do, I dig it. You guys might remember, if you watch the channel, I had a 41 Ford Coupe, and I mean, that was a cool car too. Not really the same as a 40. 40 is much more iconic. And it would have taken a lot of work to get that car to where this car is right now. So I'm really happy with it. I think this car will hang around. I don't have any plans to get rid of it anytime soon, but I mean, you never know. A good trade comes along or someone offers me enough, I would let it go, but I'm not planning on doing that. Definitely no speed demon. But like I said, I'm okay with that. I almost, like, because I haven't driven it that much, just driving right now, I almost hear a little bit of an exhaust leak when it's colder. So exhaust is maybe something that will be in the future for this vehicle. I don't hear it now though, now that everything's kind of warmed up. I will say, I mean, I could drive a manual transmission, but driving it for a long time. This one's taken a little bit of getting used to. When I took it on a test drive, I was having a problem with it. Now, it's also interesting when I took it on the test drive because it was running out of gas. I didn't really know that the gas gauge wasn't working right. He thought that he had put enough gas in the car. Obviously, he didn't. So we got it back to the house, had to put some gas in, and then it ran just fine. So a couple little hiccups, but like I said, I've taken it just on a few little trips. This is probably the second longest drive I've taken with it. And I like driving it. It's kind of cool. It's kind of nice to have something from the 40s in the shop. And I love the fendered cars. I love the fat fendered cars. I do love that look. They're timeless. They're amazing. One thing I have to remember with this car, it doesn't have self-canceling signals. So I've got to cancel them myself. And I have a few cars that are like that, but I still forget about it. You know, you get used to those modern conveniences like self-canceling signals. Yeah, that choke's still sticking on just a little bit. Really nice cruising car. I think I'm going to really enjoy once things kind of loosen up a little bit. We get back to having car events, taking this to a few car events and just kind of having a good time. You know, there's all different kinds of car people, and there are people who love their Mustangs, their Camaros, their Chevelles, people who love the older stuff, the rat rods. So it's nice owning a variety of stuff that can kind of appeal to different people, because you get to meet so many different people that enjoy those vehicles, and you can talk about them and learn a lot about them. So it's cool having a lot of different genres of cars. Right now I am missing a 90s car though, since I got rid of the NSX, and of course I had the Typhoon there for a while that I sold. I'm missing a 90s car, so I kind of want a 90s car, but at the same time I know I need to sell. I do need to get rid of something, and at this point in time I think it's going to end up being the GTO that I just picked up, that I do plan to do a video on very, very soon. I did a video on it the other day, didn't really like it, so I'll be doing another video soon. And Eddie is here. All right, I got back from the drive and Eddie was here, so he hasn't driven the car yet, so he's going to take it for a little spin, so we get to see it driving from outside, which is kind of cool. Yeah, see, he's doing the same thing. Haha, I don't feel so bad, it's not me. Yeah, the paint really shows nice. All right, so as I said, very neat car, very cool car. I did want to mention that I actually had a C8 siding. I actually saw one out in the wild as it's supposed to be. It was actually when I went to get the General Lee, and I was test driving it. And driving along, Eddie actually noticed it from the back seat first, and then the guy that was selling the car, he's actually wanting to pick up a C8. So he noticed it, I noticed it. It was red in color. It looked a lot like a Ferrari. Very cool looking car. I have to say, I like it better in person than I thought I would. So I'm anxious to see one up close, walk around it, sit in it, and drive it. And yeah, I'll probably end up wanting to get rid of my C7 for one eventually, but that's another video. So with that in mind, I'm going to end this video. I do have more stuff coming. Like I said, the next one's going to be on the GTO, and I'm going to talk a little bit about that. I do need to get rid of that car. I'm having kind of a rough time wanting to get rid of it because it's starting to grow on me, but again, we'll talk about that in the next video. So as always, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. All my pertinent information will be in the description below. God bless, take care, and have an absolutely amazing day.